For more than 3 millennia, the Jewish people have observed the feasts that God gave to Moses. There are 7 feasts total, 4 celebrated in the spring and 3 celebrated in the fall. The feasts are often described as holy convocations, but the Hebrew word mikra is better translated as rehearsal. If the word mikra is to be taken literally, then the feasts are practices or prophetic signposts for something that will take place at a later time. The first of the spring feasts is Passover. Most Jewish people would agree that on Passover, the lamb died. 3,000 years ago, God passed over each Israelite family that had the blood of the lamb on their doorposts. 1,000 years later, Jesus was crucified on Passover as a lamb led to the slaughter. The next spring feast is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, celebrated the day after Passover. It is on the day of unleavened bread that we hold our Seder, and the main feature of the Seder is matzo, or unleavened bread. The middle matzah, striped and pierced, is wrapped in a white cloth and hidden away. When a Jewish person is buried, they are also wrapped in a white cloth. The day after Jesus was crucified, his body lay striped, pierced, and hidden away in a tomb, wrapped in a white cloth. On unleavened bread, he was buried. The third spring feast is the Feast of First Fruits, or Yom HaBikurim, and it is celebrated on the Sunday after Passover, the first day of the week. The crop harvested in the spring is barley, and on first fruits, the priests took a sheaf of barley early in the morning and offered it to the Lord, saying, "Thank you for these first fruits of the harvest. We believe you for the rest in abundance." On Sunday morning after Jesus was crucified, 2 women, both named Miriam, went to Jesus' tomb early in the morning. When they came to the tomb, they found it empty. Jesus was raised as a first fruit of the resurrection that Sunday. The fourth and final spring feast is the Feast of Shavuot. 50 days after Passover, Jesus' followers gathered in the temple with other Jewish observers to celebrate. As they remembered how God had knit Israel to himself through the giving of the Torah, God's Spirit came upon the disciples of Jesus like a mighty rushing wind. That day, 3,000 Jews came to know Jesus as the Holy One of God. On Shavuot, Jesus gathered his people into his family. Looking back, we can see how the spring feasts were rehearsals for the time in which Jesus of Nazareth would be crucified, buried, and resurrected in order to gather his people into his family. This message is known to many as the Gospel, or the Good News. Once believed, this good news serves as the anchor of our hope that Jesus will come again to fulfill the fall feasts, so that whoever repents will have atonement and live with the Lord forever.